All right, y'all. Going live. Gonna do this live prediction. I was gonna do a video of this one, but I said, you know what, I'm gonna just jump on here live and go ahead and do my prediction since I, you know, like to wait till the last minute. All right. Gonna jump on this thing here. 1 second. Let's see, Marcus Bell, what's going on? Let me let me know if you can hear me all right, Marcus. Let's see, get started here. 3:30. Dang, time is flying. Okay. All right. So yeah, man, I just wanted to jump on and do it live. I was gonna record a video for this one, but I said, you know what, I don't feel like it. I want to go ahead and do this thing just live with, you know, with whoever comes in right now because I didn't plan on doing it. I just said, you know what, I'm gonna jump on right now, do it on the fly. So yeah, man, welcome back. Let's go ahead and take a look at the co-main event tomorrow. Just so y'all know, the prelim start. This is one of the early cards. It starts at like 4 p.m. and the main card starts at 7 p.m. So it's an early one, which is good. We can go ahead and get them out of the way. Well, I'm not really going to be watching. I'm not going to watch live tomorrow, so I'm not doing any fight companions because I'm going to be busy. So, y'all probably might hit me up with some spoilers, but hey, I'm gonna ignore them. I'm gonna ignore your spoilers because I probably won't be watching the fights till. I probably really won't be watching them till like Sunday, man, because I'm gonna be busy all day tomorrow, really. So, yeah, you know. So let's get into it. Let me go ahead and give you my pick for the co-main event. First off, I have to say, look, Joanne Wood, Alexa Grasso, this is good for the game. This is good for the state of WMMA. Whether you like these two fighters or not, whether you think they deserve it or not, it deserves to be a co-main event in my opinion because again, whatever you say about Joanne Wood, she does put on a good performance. Joanne Wood puts on a good fight. Alexa Grasso, like I said, doesn't really have any finishes in the UFC, but she's an exciting fighter, right? They both put on shows. If you put these two styles together, it's a good matchup, right? So I like it as a co-main event because sometimes if we say, okay, the men want, they say men fans want to see a co-main event of just men fights, but sometimes they turn out boring, right? I mean, we go back to Zhang Wei Li and Joanna as the co-main event, right? Turned out to be the best fight on the card. But whenever Yoel and Izzy performed, okay, it's high level on paper, but it actually turned out to be boring, right? And then you had people complain. They say, oh, that was boring. Like they didn't perform. So why not give the women a chance? The ones that do put on an exciting fight, like JoJo, Grasso. They both come to fight. They both let their hands go. Yeah, so it's going to be a good fight. So I think this is going to be, a solid co-main event. All right. Now, this is a what, number 7, number 9, right? We got the number 7, number 9, JoJo, number 7, Alexa Grasso, number 9 now. Grasso was supposed to be fighting Viviane Araújo, but she had to pull out due to an injury, so now she's fighting Andrea Lee. I think this is a good matchup for Grasso just to see if she can pull the trigger. This would be a fight, in a lot of people's opinion, that she can go in there and win, right? This seems like a fight that she can go in there and win. She should have the skills to do it, just the way JoJo's been looking throughout her past fights, right? Like I said, I'm a JoJo fan, but I'm gonna be real with you. JoJo really hasn't been putting on the best performances, right? She fought 3 times last year. She went 1-2, and she's still in the top 10. I'm still surprised myself. Look, I'm still surprised that she's in the top 10 myself. Sometimes I think about it because, she's pretty much lost to all of those elite fighters, right? You look at JoJo. JoJo's lost to Chikagan, Andrade, Murphy, Santos, everybody that Valentina pretty much destroyed, she's lost to. right? So Grasso has to make a statement to prove that, she's an elite flyweight, and JoJo, she really just has to win to kind of hang on to the top 10 spot, right? That's really what she's doing, just to try to hang on and see what she can do from here, right? Um, so let's look at Grasso though. Her last two performances at flyweight were solid. Jin Yoon Kim, Macy Barber. I figured, that was something that she was supposed to do. Go in there, outskill those type of fighters. Box them, use her speed, and just all around educate these fighters with her skill, because she had better skills than Barber, hands down. I said that, going into the fight. Same with Jin Yoon Kim. Speed and skill were her number two things that were going to get her through both of those fights. But now I think the higher she gets up here, Grasso is going to start having to have that kill switch. Same way Taylor Santos and them do. She's got to start finishing girls, because the longer you stand with these big girls, you won't be able to hang with them. You know what I mean? Like, they start showing their grappling skills on you. They start putting that weight on you. You got to start getting them finishes, right? So I think Grasso, looking at her moving up to this high level, whether you think JoJo's high level or not, first off, JoJo really, she's a fighter that likes to go in the bank. So Grasso, I think, number one, we know she's a faster fighter here. So I want to see combinations from Grasso. I think Grasso has the better hand speed here. She's a more technical puncher. I think starting at a good pace, first round, just throwing all kinds of combinations on a fighter like JoJo who doesn't move her head is going to be really critical. Just keeping that range like she did with Macy Barber and Jin Yoon Kim is going to really just help her stay ahead in the game here. You want to keep that range as a boxer. Grasso, I think, sometimes doesn't really assert her power. She doesn't really assert herself with her power or what she, I think she could really, really hurt some of these girls if she really committed to these punches, because she throws her shots really nice. Like, next to Rose, I think Grasso is one of the boxers in WMMA that throws some nice punches, but sometimes I just don't feel like she's sitting on them enough, right? So if she goes in here against a fighter like JoJo, who doesn't really move her head, this is her chance to just fire off punches and land some of her best shots and do real damage. Same way Marina Moreau did on JoJo. You gotta commit in this fight. Let me see in this comment section what y'all talking. TJ said that was one-way traffic, not a good fight for Joanne at all. No positives take away. Which one? Taylor Santos? I don't think there was any from any of those fights. He said her lack of power. Yeah. The thing is, like I said, I don't think it's that she don't have a lack of power. It's just like a lack of commitment. Like, there's no kill switch there. So Grasso, she's got to let her power be known in this fight. Sit down on them punches. You got to throw combinations. Sit down on those shots, and stay out of range. Don't make this like a dog fight. Like, I think she could get a finish if she just stayed out of the range of JoJo. Because when JoJo gets into the pocket with you, that's where she likes to trade, and she can hang with you. She can hang with you if you're that type of fighter, like she did with those fighters like Lauren Murphy, Andrea Lee, Caitlin Chikagan. She can kind of weather that storm with these type of fighters. But if you just don't give her a target and just pick her apart, eventually you could probably stop her. So it's got to be angles, it's got to be combinations, and it's got to be sitting down on the shots more. And the last thing I'll say is, got to have that kill switch, man. You got to get a finish this time, I think, because JoJo's kind of like that. Let's be honest. She's kind of like that sitting duck. She's kind of like that sitting duck. If you look at her amongst the fighters she's in, like, you got to go in there and get that finish on her, I think, to be taken seriously at flyweight, in my opinion. I think Grasso, she's let a lot of, I think she's let a lot of chances go by where she could have got finishes, So I'm going to say that for Grasso to be taken seriously in this game, man. She's got to get, she got to use combinations on JoJo. She got to use her speed, got to use those angles. Look for the finish in this one, because technically, I think she has a little bit of everything in there to get the finish. I think she could surprise JoJo by taking her to the ground, You know, she showed her strength against Macy Barber. You know, Macy Barber's a big fighter. You know, Macy Barber's big, and you know she was able to, you know, handle her on the ground. So let's see if she could hurt JoJo, get her down, and she could probably get that, you know, get that top control, maybe get transition to her back, and maybe get like a rear naked choke on her, right? So I think Grasso has a lot of technical skills here. It's just all going to come down to her wanting to go for that finish, man. JoJo, man. Let's see, man. Number one thing I'm gonna say for JoJo is she's got to build up a good lead in this fight. She's got to build up a good lead. She's got to start first with her basic striking here. You know, I think her 1-2s are pretty solid. You know, JoJo throws some nice shots. We can't deny that. You know, I mean, as an all-around fighter, I know we're going to try to bash and break that down. We can say, okay, she doesn't do this, she doesn't do that. But the one thing about JoJo, I think she throws a nice variety of shots. Like when she lets her hands go, she's effective. When she hits you, she is effective. You know, I would give the power edge more so to JoJo in this fight. You know, I do think that even though she hasn't really stopped too many of these fighters at flyweight, she does more damage. You know, her shots do tend to thump a little bit more than Grasso. So, you know, she's got to build up a lead in this fight with her using her Muay Thai. You know, use that front kick to the face of Alexa Grasso, use her timing, you know, because Grasso's the faster fighter. She's got to use that timing in this fight. Number two, well, this really should be number one. JoJo need to move her head. I mean, I've been saying that from day one about JoJo, and I'm going to keep saying it even though she hasn't done it. I'm just telling y'all now, like, if she loses and she gets tattooed up, you'll know why. It's because she hasn't, you know, figured out how to move her head, right? So JoJo's got to move her head in this fight. You know, she's got to move her head. You can't stay in there with a combination puncher, a solid boxer like Alexa Grasso. You can't keep your head on the line in this type of fight. You know, she did that against Calvillo. Nose is leaking by the first round. She did that with Andrea Lee. Lauren Murphy, nose is leaking by the first round. That's what I don't understand about JoJo. Like, see, like I said, you know, I ain't one of them fanboys that's going to act like my favorite fighters ain't doing anything wrong. I'm gonna give you the real when it comes to me talking about these fighters. Like, I be looking at some of these channels, man. Y'all be riding the jock too hard sometime with some of these fighters. Like, I'm gonna give you some real corner talk. Like, I'm a fan of JoJo, but why does she not move her head? Why do you want to be that type of fighter that wants to get into a fight of the night? Like, do you really want to walk away concussed? Like, if your teammates with somebody like Roxanne and she's already saying she's experienced like these headaches, like, you know, that should tell you something about tightening up with defense. Like, look at Valentina Shevchenko. Like, why is she champion? You know, why is she coming out clean, unmarked? You know, okay, she looks good. She looks the same as she did in the first round. Why? Because she moves her head. She used that defense, right? So I'm just like, come on, like let's do this one little simple thing. Let's learn how to move our head. Let's learn how to slip. That way we can get a W for a change, and you know we can move on to the next best thing, right? I don't think it should just be all about wanting to go in there and put on a performance for the fans, because when it comes down to it, the fans ain't gonna be there for you when it's all over, right? So I want to see the fighters that I'm a fan of. I want to see them improve. I'm not just gonna ride the jock and say, okay, they good to go, right? That ain't my style, man. You know, yeah, TJ. Okay, he said he working. He'll catch a prediction later. Okay, yeah, for sure. So I think that's one of the main things about JoJo, because she throws some of the nicest shots. She is a dog. Her offense is there. She can get a good clean start. She's tough, which has already been proven. So don't take any shots you don't need to, but it's just that head movement with me. It's that head movement. Like, very, very critical. That's why I'm stuck on this key to victory, man, because it's something so critical, man. What else? What else with JoJo? The tie clinch. Joanne is very brutal in the tie clinch. So if Grasso tries to go in close for like a takedown, if she wants to shoot in for a takedown, or if not, JoJo needs to cut the octagon off, stalk, put that effective pressure on Alexa Grasso, get her back to the cage, push her way in, get that tie clinch, and land those knees to the body. Got to get those knees into the body. Got to land them forearms to the face, elbows to the head. However, she can make this fight ugly. You know what I mean? Because I think JoJo's more of a proven dog than Grasso. You know, we seen her go in there and trade a little bit. We seen her get rough and rugged a lot. Grasso, I don't know, not so much. Like maybe she has it, but I haven't really seen it. You know, like when I looked at that Macy Barber fight, when Macy really started to come after, I kind of saw her go on the back foot. You know, after she won 2 rounds, she kind of went on the back pedal there, let her come after her. I thought she could have finished Macy Barber if she just went after her a little bit more or stayed in the game, but you know, she kind of took her foot off the gas there. So I think JoJo has that dog going for her. And if she can make this a gritty fight, she could win this. She could win this fight. It might be close, but I think she could win this fight. So those are some of the things with JoJo. You know, I think she needs to let her hands go early on, you know, mix them combinations up as well. Put that pressure on to get the tie clinch and move her head, man. You got to move your head. You got to move your head. So, yeah, those are just a few of the things. How I see this fight going, I think round 1 is going to be pretty explosive. You know, no one, again, you know, JoJo, she likes to play up to the crowd. You know, she likes to trade and she likes to give and receive. So knowing this is the co-main event, knowing we dealing with these two type of fighters, first round I think is going to be kind of explosive. I think the first round going to be kind of explosive here. And I think that with Grasso, the way she lets her hands go and she sees JoJo coming straight at her, you're going to see a lot of hands flying. There's going to be a lot of exchanges here, I think, in the first round. So I think these two are going to play up to the crowd. They're going to keep a high pace. But Grasso, I think she's going to stick to her technical skills a little bit more, you know, and I think she's going to pick JoJo apart a few times in, you know, the first few minutes of the round, second round. There'll be some close exchanges. Man. Fan pick, I'm going for JoJo. If I had to go with analyst pick here, though, I'm gonna have to go with Alexa Grasso in this one when it comes down to, you know, just an analyst pick though. I think this is a type of style where JoJo could win, but when I look back at that Cynthia Calvillo fight, and I look back at like what Andrea Lee did, you know, Andrea Lee lost a split decision, Caitlin Chikagian won a split decision. I think she can kind of capitalize on where they failed, and she can come through with a little bit more volume and a little bit more work and outpoint JoJo, you know. But it's still going to be a fight, I think, where JoJo can connect. As long as the fight doesn't go to the ground, I think JoJo does have a big chance of still winning this fight, you know. And if you give her space to be a dog in there, I think it'll be another decision type. It could be another decision type win that could possibly go either way. You know, I think it might come down to being a close fight. So I factor that in also with the lack of a kill switch of Alexa Grasso. Now, if Alexa Grasso was like some type of, you know, monster puncher, or even if she was like a high volume puncher like Joanna, then I would favor Grasso a little bit more. But when she takes her foot off the gas, I think that's when you know, JoJo starts to come on a little bit strong. I mean, yeah, JoJo will come on a little bit stronger, you know. So yeah, if I had to go for a fighter, of course, I'm gonna go with Joanne in this one. But I think Grasso might be able to pull it off. You know what? Forget it. I'm gonna go with JoJo all the way across the board on this one. I don't care. Yeah, I'm gonna go with JoJo all the way across the board on this analyst pick and fan pick. You know, I got a ride with her because I'm looking at those other intangibles. So I'm gonna stick with her on this one. Ceremonial starts at 16 minutes. Okay, yeah. I know. So I'm gonna be tuning into that. Yeah. Hold on. Let me go back up here. Look at some comments before I bounce up out of here. So I was just gonna be about 20 minutes. So Mark Robinson, what's up? He said, after watching some of JoJo's past fights, I still feel like Grasso should win this fight, but only if she has an answer for the kicks. If she doesn't have an answer for the front kick, Grasso loses. I think JoJo's Muay Thai would be the best all-around striking Grasso has faced, even though it's nowhere near as Valentina's Muay Thai. Yeah. TJ said Grasso could well lose the decision due to her lack of power. Yeah, I was kind of factoring that in as I'm doing my MMA math here. Marcus said Blanchfield has a fight coming up, and it better not be G-Rob. It might be, it might be Gatto, might be Jasmine. We'll see. All right, so before I bounce up out of here, got about 10 of y'all in here. Make sure you hit the like button. Let me know who y'all got. Who do y'all got? Who do y'all got? Just see AMs in here. Who do y'all got? Yeah, I'm gonna stick with, forget it. I'm gonna stick with one pick in this one. I'm gonna go with JoJo. I'm gonna go with JoJo all the way. I think she definitely has enough to win this fight, even if it is going to be a close decision. This is what she needs. Like, she usually loses a fight when fighters start taking her to the ground. Yeah, I know Gatto's fighting. Yeah, that's right. Gatto's fighting Tracy Cortez. I brought that up already. Yeah, I talked about that. So it ain't Gatto, and it ain't Tracy Cortez. But who is Aaron Blanchfield gonna fight then? Yeah, I'm gonna stick with JoJo on this one. Right or wrong, I don't care. I went 2-0 the past 2 weeks anyway. I'm gonna stick with what I think JoJo has. Like, I think JoJo has the dog in her, and I think she has the space in this fight that won't give her problems. And I also think that she doesn't have to worry about the takedowns as much. Like, don't be surprised if Grasso takes her down, if Grasso takes JoJo down. But I think JoJo doesn't really have to worry about it too much in this fight, where she can let go more. You know what I mean? Like, when she fought Lauren Murphy, and Jennifer Maia, those are the things that always kind of took her out of her game. When she fought Jessica I was standing. I think Grasso's going to want to be standing most of the time, but she probably she won't be in the pocket too much. So JoJo's going to have to do a lot of stalking in this fight. But I'm gonna ride with her. I'm gonna ride with her all around though, man. Man, I can't believe Grasso ain't been in the octagon in a year now, though, right? Her last fight was Macy Barber back in January of 2021. Let's see, JoJo's 1-2. At least she fought 3 times last year. But yeah, Grasso, she had an injury, right? Grasso had an injury. So yeah, she's been out the game for about a little over a year and a half. No, a year and some months. Yeah, about a year and a couple months. So yeah, I don't know. Could be dangerous though. When a fighter loses 2 in a row, we'll see if this is the dangerous one. We'll see if this is dangerous JoJo. If not, it might be a shot one. It could be dangerous or it could be shot. Okay, Mark says he's going Grasso. Aim's going Grasso. Ivan said if JoJo's hungry, she can do it, but is she? I don't know. I really don't know. I think she could be, because it's a co-main event. She could be very much hungry if it's a co-main event. I wonder who could hurt who, though. That's the question. Who could hurt who? Who could hurt who in this fight? Like, with JoJo taking so much punishment over the years, like, Grasso could hurt her with the right hand, but I think Joanne naturally has power that could probably stun Grasso a little bit if she can catch her. Gabrielle said Casey O'Neill versus Jessica. Yeah, I know. I posted that up earlier on my community page here. Mark Robinson said, did you hear JoJo say she might try to box more because she feels like the judge don't give her enough credit for her leg kicks? That's crazy. I give her a lot of credit for her kicks. That's an important part of her game. But now is not the time for her to box. I mean, well, now is the time for her to box more, but she's got to move her head, man. She has got to move her head. Like, look, Joanne, JoJo, Wood, Calderwood, whatever we call her, got to move your head. You don't move your head enough in this game. Like, if I tell any of my fighters anything, that's one thing it is. Move your doggone head. Like, move your head, and I promise, look, I guarantee you she would get more victories if she moved her head. And if for takedown defense is better, but if you took your head off the line, these fighters wouldn't be piling up as much points on you, or you wouldn't take as much damage. You would think, see, some fighters, they think that when they start to bleed or they taste their own blood, that's getting him hype. But no, like the more blood that comes out of you, the more energy you're gonna lose. Like, yeah, your adrenaline is pumping, but as the fight goes on, as your cardio goes down, stamina goes down, you take more punches, the blood starts to come out, you start to fade. You really start to fade. So don't think that this is some type of warrior paint. You know what I mean? Let's come out. Keep as much as that blood in your body that you can, and that's how you win a fight. You know. So yeah. All around, all across the board. Forget the fan pick, and split. I'm gonna rock with Wood in this one. I gotta stick with Wood. We gonna rock with Wood. Wood's gonna win a decision. Might be close, but I think this being a co-main event, I'm looking at all the factors here. Co-main event. She's still been more active. She got more dog than Grasso. She's gonna win. I think she can pull off a win in this one. This is the space that she needs. Gabrielle said Aaron versus JJ Aldrich should be another option. Yeah, that was one of my picks. That was one of my picks I had mentioned. Yeah, it's being worked on, Gabrielle. You talking about Casey O'Neill and Jessica Eye? It's in the works for UFC 276 and July 2nd. Marcus said that's more like Aaron versus. Man, I'll take Jessica Eye versus Casey O'Neill. That just kind of proves to you, like I said, more and more I thought about it, I was trying to give Jessica Eye the benefit of the doubt, but now it really looks like Jessica Eye ducked Manon. But that tells you something, right? That tells you something, like I said, about the skill level, right? Ulysses, what's going on? BJ, what's going on? He said this flyweight division is fire. Yeah, it's popping right now. That tells you something I said about the skill level, right? Like, we'll see though. If she commits to the Casey O'Neill fight, that'll tell you, okay, we know why she didn't want the Manon fight. Why? But yeah. AM said everyone knows. Yeah, everyone knows that. Yeah, I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt. That's what I'm saying. But my thing is, like, AM, if this fight goes through, right? If this fight goes through with Casey O'Neill, that meant she was scared of the skill level of Manon. And that'll just prove to y'all what I'm talking about. Like, if she feel like she can take Casey O'Neill, then I tell you who definitely looking more dangerous, right? Who's looking like a more dangerous fighter, Manon or Casey O'Neill? If Jessica Eye goes into this fight for sure, no more cancellations, that's because she said, "Oh, I can take this fight." But don't underestimate Casey O'Neill either, though. Who's taking Eye in this fight? Who's taking Eye anyway? I'm not. Look, the mission is still the same. We still got to get these older fighters weeded out. So, Casey O'Neill better go in there and do work. I think this is going to be an awkward style for both fighters. Well, it's going to be more so awkward for Casey O'Neill because she never really fought a fighter at this high level yet. And Jessica Eye's got a good jab, man. Like, we'll see what she can do, because that Jessica Eye likes to put on the pressure too. Like, Jessica Eye's got good pressure. Casey O'Neill hasn't fought this high level yet, so we'll see. We got to see. Yeah, Manon. Yeah, Manon was going to scalp Eye. That's what I'm saying. Like, that fight was off. But whenever July come, if she show up to the Casey O'Neill fight, we'll know. We'll know for sure. AM said right. If she lose to Casey, that would be funny. Ducking and still lose. Yeah. Got to go with the path of least resistance, they say. And so I was going to take Eye, but Casey has a very big chance, but who knows? Mark Roberts said, if you do JoJo's pre-fight interview, you can hear her say she plans to box more because she thinks that decision fights judges give more credit to boxing than kicks. I thought they always gave credit to a lot of good kicks, though. I hope she doesn't ignore her kicks, because you don't want to box with the boxer full on. I think this is the fight where she has to mix it up. I hope she doesn't, I hope she doesn't completely get that out of her game plan in this fight. I think the kicks are still going to be important because you got to kick Grasso in her legs to slow her down, right? You got to slow her down with kicks to the. You got to slow her down. You can't headhunt Grasso all night. You know, Grasso doesn't. For a boxer, Grasso keeps her guard tight, but she doesn't really move her head as much either. You know what I mean? Like Grasso's a boxer too, but she doesn't move her head a great deal. She keeps her hands tucked, her chin tucked, like a traditional, you know, some traditional Mexican fighters. But she doesn't, you know, Mexican boxers, but she doesn't really move her head a great deal. Yeah, there's gonna be blood in this fight, Ulysses. Definitely. Yeah, there's gonna be blood. He just said Grasso has lateral movement. Yeah, she's got lateral movement. Yeah. Um, but you know, JoJo has pressure. You know, JoJo has good pressure. And I've never really seen JoJo fall or crumble to pressure now that I think about it. Like, I don't really see her like get too frustrated with that. I think it's more frustration when she gets down to the ground. So, Grasso plus 0 head movement equals slumber. Yeah, it's going to come down to that. It's going to come down to whoever can take whoever's shot, because if Grasso's not moving her head, if JoJo's not moving her head, these right hands are going to be landing. So who's going to get rocked? Who's going to get rocked first? And then who's going to go for the takedown when they get him hurt? Yeah, I'm going to go back and look at that, Mark. I'm going to look at that interview you said about at 440. I'm going to look at that interview, just kind of see what she means by that, because I think she should still make sure she throws kicks in this fight. Whether the judges like it or not, forget what the judges think. You know what I mean? It comes down to throwing effective kicks to break down your opponent, right? You know, let the kicks go regardless, because you got to break down your opponent. Keep telling yourself that, BJ. You said neither one of them have a kill switch. Keep you telling yourself that. I think JoJo's already proven that she goes to war. She may have lost some fights, but she's still going in there for the kill switch. Grasso, how's Grasso closer to finishing the fight? She hasn't finished anybody in the UFC. How's she finished anybody? How's she close to come close to finish anybody? She hasn't finished anybody in UFC. You said who has she finished? She has got some finishes, but she also has that type of approach. Her intentions are to go after you still. Like, she still has that dog in her. She still has that dog in her where she will still go after you. But Grasso, not so much. Why do you think she almost lost, almost got stopped in them points by Casey, not Casey O'Neill, but by Macy Barber? Oh, shoot, wow. I'm sorry, I was just looking at something out the window here. That's crazy. So when you look at just grittiness, like I'm not even just talking about stoppages here, but when you just look at grittiness and who likes to fight raw, that's JoJo. Ernest said, should I put 20 on the fight going less than 3 rounds? And no, I don't think so. With neither fighter finishing anybody, I don't think I'd really want to put some money on this Richardson. I don't think so. You'd be better putting 20 on the fight going the distance. Gordon, what's up? He said, whomever comes out the winner, one thing is sure, JoJo's nose will be bleeding. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, she sure will, man. I'm telling you, man, like, head movement. What are we gonna do about this head movement, JoJo? Come on, like, we gotta move this head. You're talking about boxing more in this fight, but we need to see that. We need to see a good technical game plan in this one where, you know, you're being slicker, you know, throw the jab, like, you know, kind of like Rocky Pennington and them do, you know, throw the jab, take your head off the line. Man, I'm looking forward to a good fight though, y'all. Said Grasso looked doggish in the Macy fight. Doggish, yeah. She looked doggish a little bit, you know, but that's not enough. She won 2 good technical rounds. Then that 3rd round, boy, she was taking her foot off the gas, boy. She took her foot off the gas. Macy won that round. Like Macy, good example of a dog. Good example of a dog in there. She may not have the skill, but definitely a good example of the dog. Like a little bit more dog than Joanne, a little bit more dog than Grasso. Kill switch all day long. She finishing girls. You know what I mean? Her mind is on kill switch mode. So Macy Barber, like her or not, that's the example of what I mean by dog and kill switch. And the ceremonial is on. So yeah, I'm gonna check that out now. Let me go through a couple more comments and I'm about to bounce. Mark said JoJo didn't say this, but I feel like she might be talking about her fight with Lauren Murphy. She might feel like judges gave her credit for her kicks like they should have. She would have won. Yeah, I thought JoJo did win that fight. I thought JoJo won rounds 1 and 3. Because it was round 2 where Lauren Murphy just dominated her on the ground. But yeah, like I thought she did enough to win. Because I was factoring in kicks myself. So yeah, I could understand that. I just hope she doesn't think they won't be effective. Like whether the judges like them, they still do damage, Gordon Moore says, isn't Grasso's long time off going to have an adverse effect on her timing and striking accuracy? It could. I think it might. Because, the gym is one thing. Gym and training is one thing, but the actual fight is another. You know what I mean? So it might be different. It might be a little off. And I have to look at that too. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Grasso been out for over a year now. I'm surprised too. But then again, like I said, what was it? The injury, right? What was the injury? What was the injury she had? But yeah. Anyways, y'all, this is the fight that she needs, man. Grasso needs it. She's got in my opinion, she has to get like a stoppage to be taken seriously, like a serious threat among these big flyweights like Taylor, Manon. And again, Manon, she's got her task coming up this Saturday as well. So Manon goes in there. Let's see how she looks against Jennifer Maia. I actually think Manon could stop Jennifer Maia before I think Grasso could get a stoppage over JoJo. Right? I think Manon would stop. Yeah, I think Manon probably could stop Maia before Grasso could stop JoJo. I know that's pretty bold, but I'm just looking at the killer instinct and the power and the size, So yeah. So yeah, yo. What y'all got? Oh man, he's a better catch him. I can catch him anytime, man. I got playback. We got playback. I'm always on the move anyway, so I'm gonna catch it whenever. But that's all I got, y'all. I'm going with JoJo in this one. Y'all know I'm going with Manon as well. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe if you haven't. And if you missed this live, oh well, just leave in the comment section who you got in this one. I'm about to get up out of here. Hold on. Gordon said, despite JoJo's shortcomings, I have to give her the edge in experience, grit, versatility, and striking, and her desire to redeem herself. JoJo wins this one, I think. Okay. Well, you got somebody going on my side on this one. That's what I said. She's got the grit, man. I thought I was the only one that saw that, but yeah, I think some of that stuff can pull her through for real. But all right, y'all. I'm out of here. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.